he did an interview on Vlad, and he said some shit, Dame and Jay and Cam. Hey, Dame and Cam, hold on. Cam.
Like, how I get in that picture?
How I get in Steve Stout. They want me out the industry, and I'm like, yo, bro, where this came from?
And I can't be violent, and I won't be violent. My job is to keep them out of jail. So the only way I can deal with things is keep certain things out of the algorithm. It's to answer as soon as somebody says something.
Jay-Z, Dame Dash, Cameron, 3 names that built a dynasty and then broke it apart. But now their names are back in the spotlight for one of the most explosive stories to ever come out of that Roc-A-Fella circle. Cam finally broke his silence, and what he said about what really went down between him, Jay-Z, Dame, and their old business partner left fans stunned. The man didn't hold back this time. He told it all like it really happened. According to Cam, this whole new wave of tension didn't start with no major betrayal. It started with something small. Just one interview, one short clip. But it hit the internet like a spark in a room full of gasoline. The blogs caught it, fans ran wild with it, and before anyone could even breathe, history started repeating itself right in front of our eyes. Cam said he could feel it happening. The same kind of energy that tore Roc-A-Fella apart years ago creeping back in. The person who kicked things off was none other than Lance "Un" Rivera. Yeah, that Un, the same one connected to Biggie and the early Brooklyn scene. He went on camera and said some slick things about Dame and Jay, but the twist? Somehow Cam's name got dragged right into the drama. Out of nowhere, Cam was being mentioned like he'd played a part in something messy, and that's when he had to speak up. Cam said he was completely caught off guard. I had no issue with that man, he explained. Biggie's the one who introduced us. He said Biggie was the bridge, the reason their paths ever crossed in the first place. And out of respect for Big, Cam kept things solid for years. He said he even looked out for Un, sending money, showing love, helping him behind the scenes when things got rough. That's loyalty, not industry politics. But the moment everything flipped, it came when Cam heard that Un allegedly told Jacob York, yo, I'm just trying to move the algorithm. That line hit Cam like a betrayal, because that's when it became clear that this wasn't about real life, it was about content, about views, clicks, and social media engagement. The game had changed. It wasn't loyalty anymore. It was about who could trend first.
Listen, let me tell you something, bro. Not to cut you off, Blizz, but it's like this. We just talked about it. You be playing with me online, I'm gonna play with you online.
That's right.
They say something about me, I ignore it because I don't want to do that with them niggas. I love them niggas. I just seen
you get at for that, man.
Like, bro, and me and Un spoke after that. But the thing about it, what happened with Un was that he did an interview on Vlad. And he said some shit, Dame and Jay and Cam. Hey, Dame and Cam, hold on. Cam.
Like, how I get in that picture?
How I get in Steve Stout. They want me out the industry, and I'm like, yo, bro, where this came from? I'm like, you gave me a chance. Biggie took me to you. You gave me a chance. I have no problem with you. So I called a mutual friend, shout out to Jacob York, you know what I'm saying? And he told, yo, tell Cam I'm just trying to move the algorithm. What?
Yo, chill.
Yo, I was like, yo,
what? He wanted to move the algorithm.
Everything I love, he said, tell Cam I'm just trying to move the algorithm. So we spoke after that. I ain't no problem. And I was like, I dig it, ain't no problem. We spoke. I seen none. I went to Jacob's house, this, that, and the third. And I'm not putting nigga business out there. But nigga, for the last year, I'm saying, here go 4,000, 3,000, here go 2,500, this, that, that. Whether he needed or not, we won't get that. I was doing that.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So then the other day,
Cam said that was the wake-up call, realizing that real stories, real relationships, and real respect had been replaced by viral moments. People don't care about truth no more, he said. They just care about traffic. And you could tell he meant it. It wasn't anger in his voice, it was disappointment. Like watching the culture he helped build turn into a circus. He said what really hurts is how people who once stood on integrity now chase algorithms like they're chasing air. Back then, men handled things in private. Now, everybody's got a camera in their face and a caption ready. Cam said it best. The streets used to talk, but now the internet screams. The way Cam told it, he wasn't mad about his name being mentioned. He was mad about how easily people twist truth into entertainment. He said when he realized this was all about feeding the feed, not fixing the past, that's when he stepped back. I see what it is now, he said. It ain't personal, it's promotional. That one sentence summed it up perfectly. the line between friendship and fame is gone. And that's the real story here. Not just the tension between him, Jay, and Dame, but the bigger message about how the industry operates now. How fame flips loyalty, how clicks rewrite history, and how a legacy that started with hustle can end up being chopped into sound bites just to move the algorithm. Facts. That's the part people always miss when they talk about those old Roc-A-Fella stories. It was never just business. It was heart, pride, ego, and brotherhood all mixed into one volatile cocktail. Every deal, every disagreement, every look across the room had emotion behind it. These weren't random business partners. They were friends who built empires out of loyalty and faith before the world was even ready for them. See, what made Roc-A-Fella different wasn't just the money. It was the bond. They came up hungry, fighting for a voice in an industry that used to treat artists like disposable tools. They created something real. And when real money and real fame hit, so did real cracks. So when people try to say it was just business, they don't get it. Nah, this was personal. Every move back then was tied to trust and pride. And once pride gets hurt, there's no easy way back. When Cam'ron tells his side of the story, you can hear it in his tone. He's not just clearing the air, he's reclaiming history. He's saying, y'all got the wrong version. He's trying to fix the record before it gets lost to internet gossip. When he mentions sending money, checking in, and showing love over the years, that's not PR talk. That's a man trying to do right after seeing how ugly this industry can get when people let rumors and headlines control the story. He's seen what happens when silence gets twisted into betrayal. One headline drops, and suddenly fans act like they were in the meetings, like they know the truth. It's crazy how fast things spiral now. One clip, one caption, and suddenly people are screaming, Jay-Z, Dame Dash, and Cam'ron were in on some setup, when half of them weren't even around when this history was written.
Yo, because niggas only see the clips I put up.
Yeah.
They don't see the whole shit. I don't know if you seen the interview.
I just see the clips.
So listen, I ain't gonna say who sent it to me. I'll tell you off the camera. So nigga, not gas me, but he sent me the clip. He said, go to the 5-minute mark, Cam. So they asked the nigga, they say, yo, did Jay-Z stab you, this, that, and the third? So he's like, and why did he stab you?
I definitely didn't see this clip
part,
yet.
Yeah, so he says, Jay didn't stab me, you know, somebody in the entourage we won't get into, but they're like, why? And it's like, it could have been a bunch of reasons why. It was a bunch of reasons why, who knows? He said, so now, pause that, what I just told you.
Mm-hmm.
This one I'm signed to Un. We in the studio, out a song called Fuck You.
Mm-hmm.
We're rehearsing that song for a show. It's me, he said Mace, but I know he meant Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Mace wasn't there, it was Jim. And all Un niggas from Brooklyn, the staff, everybody in there. So we rehearsing, Dane come in at this time while we rehearsing, and the song Fuck You, and we kind of like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, kind of like pointing at Dame. And to this day, I don't know why. But, you know what I'm saying? But you know Dame crazy.
That's right.
Dame Dolo. Dame walk in the middle of the whole shit like, yo, fuck y'all niggas too. Fuck you talking about? Yeah. So he's like, the song went off, so he like, yo, Jim, let me talk to y'all. So he's bringing us outside. He said, yo, don't do that no more. He said, you got these Brooklyn niggas thinking that we ain't united Harlem niggas. What the fuck is that about? And I'm like, I don't even know what it was about. The song was on. I said, yo, he made me feel like shit. I felt like shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, my bad, bro. Cool. Boom, back to Un. Un tells this story on the dialogue shit the other day. Well, Cam and Jim and them niggas, or Macy says, walked in and started screaming, fuck you with Dame when he walks in. And then 3 to 4 days later, I'm stabbed. So I don't know.
Yo, chill.
Yo, bro.
Nah, he ain't say that.
Everything I love, my nigga. And I'm like,
so he like, Dame put the hit out.
Yeah, basically.
So Dame called his artist though for the hit.
Yeah, this what I'm saying. Yo, fair man, I didn't even put that clip up. So I'm like, bro, why? So you implicated me and Dame and Mace and why niggas
He
stabbed
know
you.
exactly why that shit went down.
Yeah,
man.
so,
he know.
Yeah, so I'm just
I
like,
don't believe he said it was because y'all was saying fuck
he said,
that.
he said those could have been one of the many reasons, but that's what he said.
Yo, that's crazy. I gotta watch that clip, man.
I'm gonna send it to you like they sent to me and go straight to the 5-minute mark.
That's a fact.
That's why Cam's words hit different, because he's not arguing for clout, he's defending legacy. He's showing that some bridges might have burned, but the foundation still matters. And that's rare in a game where everyone's trying to go viral off old pain. He's showing growth, the kind that doesn't need a camera to prove it. And think about it. Back then, these were young men carrying the weight of multi-million-dollar empires on their backs before they even turned 30. That kind of pressure can crush anyone. They were learning business, managing fame, juggling egos, and trying to stay loyal all at once. Every mistake they made was broadcast to the world. Every disagreement turned into a headline. They didn't have the luxury of privacy. Their growing pains were public. But that's what made that era so raw, so unforgettable. Roc-A-Fella wasn't just a label. It was a culture shift. It redefined independence before it was cool, showed rappers they could be CEOs, and taught the industry what ownership really looked like. That's why, decades later, the energy still hits. When you say Jay-Z, Dame Dash, or Cameron, people stop and listen. It's like those names are coded into hip-hop's DNA, permanent, untouchable, unforgettable. Every reunion rumor, every quote, every subtle mention of that era sends the internet into a frenzy, because people still care. And that's rare. Most artists fade out once the lights go down, but Roc-A-Fella's story keeps resurfacing because it's more than nostalgia. It's unfinished business. Fans still want closure. They still want to know who was right, who was wrong, and if peace is even possible. That's the power of legacy, and it doesn't fade, it lingers. And you can feel that when Cam speaks. He's careful with his words, almost like he's trying to keep the peace while still defending his truth. You can sense that part of him still respects everyone involved, Jay, Dame, even after all the chaos, because deep down, they all shared a dream once, and you can't erase that kind of history, no matter how messy it got. And maybe that's the real story here, not who started what, but how much of themselves they gave to build something that still echoes today. Every generation of artists coming up now is still walking the path Roc-A-Fella carved out, from independent deals to label ownership, from fashion collabs to global brands. That's the ripple effect of what they created. So when the public reacts like it's 2002 all over again every time Cam or Dame or Jay says something, it's not because of drama. It's because they matter. Their names still move the culture. Their stories still spark debate. And their legacy still defines the line between business and brotherhood. This isn't just hip-hop history, it's emotional history. It's the reminder that even when time moves on, the feelings, the pride, and the unfinished conversations never really disappear. They just wait for the right moment. And right now, Cam's words just brought all that energy right back to life. But there's something deeper in what Cam said, something that cuts right to the core of how the industry works today. When he heard that straight up admitted, "I'm just trying to move the algorithm," something clicked in his head. That's when Cam realized this wasn't about loyalty or even legacy anymore. It was about metrics, about likes, clicks, and viral sound bites. That line exposed everything that's wrong with the game right now. It's not about who's telling the truth, it's about who can trend the fastest. Cam understood in that moment that the business he grew up in had transformed into a full-blown content machine. Real stories get chopped up and served as entertainment, and people feed off conflict like it's currency. That's why this moment hit different, because it showed how far things have drifted from authenticity. He said it without saying it. The game isn't about the message anymore. It's about the moment. Artists don't even get to live their truth without somebody screen recording it, editing it, and turning it into a headline. It's not about what happened. It's about what goes viral. And Cam recognized that. Instead of adding fuel to the fire, he brought clarity to the chaos. That's rare these days. He could have easily snapped back, called names, or tried to go viral himself, but he didn't. He took his time, told his truth calmly, and made sure people knew his side straight from the source. That's not clout chasing. That's a man protecting his legacy. And that's what separates Cam from most of these new school voices. He's not chasing attention, he's controlling the narrative. Because when you've lived through the Roc-A-Fella era, you know how fast public opinion can flip. One rumor can destroy years of real loyalty. One interview can make people forget how much you built together. And that's exactly what Cam's trying to prevent. He's rewriting the record before the internet rewrites it for him. He's seen how the media can pit people against each other for engagement and how fans feed off controversy like it's entertainment. He said that when he heard Un mention moving the algorithm, it made him realize something. People will literally resurrect old beefs, twist half-truths, and remix memories just to keep their name hot. It's sad but real. The new hustle is attention. That's why this moment matters so much. Cam didn't come to air dirty laundry. He came to remind people what respect looks like in a digital world that forgot what that means. He spoke without bitterness, without anger, just facts and emotion. That's what growth looks like when you've survived decades in this game without losing your soul. And let's be real. Whether you side with Jay, Dame, or Cam, the truth is all of them helped build something that'll never die. That Roc-A-Fella dynasty wasn't just a label. It was a blueprint for independence, ownership, and power. Their stories may be complicated, but that's what makes them legendary. The rise, the split, the tension, all of it became part of hip-hop's DNA. Even now, years later, when any of their names trend, the internet goes crazy like it's 2003 again. That's how you know their influence is still alive. They didn't just make music, they built an empire that still shapes how artists move today. And seeing Cam speak his truth now, with maturity and honesty, just adds another layer to that history. It's another missing puzzle piece finally being placed. So now, the question becomes, do stories like this hurt Jay and Dame's legacy, or do they make it bigger? Do they remind us of the tension or the greatness that came from it? Because sometimes the legend gets stronger every time the truth resurfaces. And here's the real one. If Cam ever wanted to, really wanted to, could he sit down with Jay and Dame today? Could those three men who once ran the game together finally face the past and clear it all up on camera for the culture? Imagine that moment. Three moguls in one room, one conversation that could rewrite hip-hop history. At the end of the day, this whole situation says more about the culture than the conflict. What started as a small misunderstanding turned into a lesson on how fame, pride, and the algorithm can twist real stories into entertainment. But Cam'ron showed us something different, that even in a world addicted to drama, truth still hits harder. He didn't need to yell, expose, or chase headlines. He just spoke facts and reminded everyone that the Roc-A-Fella story still carries weight because it was real. And that's the part people forget. Jay-Z, Dame Dash, and Cam'ron didn't just build a label, they built a mindset. A whole generation learned about hustle, ownership, and independence because of them. Their rise, their fall, their reunion rumors, it all became a blueprint for what happens when money meets legacy. And even now, when their names pop up in conversation, the internet still freezes like time stop, because those three represent something the culture hasn't seen since. Cam's version of the story isn't about revenge, it's about reclaiming respect. It's about showing that growth doesn't mean silence, it means speaking with purpose. He didn't just clear the air. He restored balance to a narrative that was getting out of hand. And whether you agree with him or not, you can't deny one thing. The man knows how to move with grace in a world that profits off chaos. So maybe that's the real takeaway. The industry might run on clicks now, but authenticity still wins in the long game. People can manipulate algorithms, but they can't fake legacy. Jay, Dame, and Cam proved that when you build something real, the story never dies. It just evolves. Now the question is, what's next? Could we ever see the day when those three actually sit down and talk it out for the culture? Could they finally close the book on one of hip-hop's greatest sagas? Because if that ever happens, that wouldn't just be history, that'd be healing. Until then, stay locked in right here at BarzBuzz, where we break down the stories behind the headlines, the truth behind the trends, because one thing's for sure, in this game, legacy never fades, it just finds a new beat. If this saga had you shook, wait till you see what's next. You already know what it is. BarzBuzz got the real, raw, and unfiltered breakdowns. So don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment, and share this with someone who needs to catch up.